Buongiorno, this is Logan McRae with NES Flash Forward. I'm just going to show you the last section of Gauntlet for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I just recently beat this game and recorded my playthrough of the last few levels from 79 through 100, and just wanted to share that with you to see kind of what's involved and what kind of practice it takes to be able to pull off something like this. Later on, I'll be creating my website of nesflashforward.com, and at that point in time, I'll have my official review of this game, Gauntlet. So be sure to check that out once it's done. In the meantime, I'm gonna be uploading this video to YouTube so you can kind of see a little bit about Gauntlet. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gauntlet is based on an arcade game that was developed by Atari back in the 80s. Nintendo later ported the game, not Nintendo, but Tengen ported it to the Nintendo Entertainment System and kind of simplified some of the levels in there. So what we're seeing here is the last World 5 of Gauntlet, which is a series of the hardest levels that you have to beat all in a row without, like, in one sit down, because the password starts you at the beginning of this world instead of like partway through it. So here we have a treasure room, and the point is to collect treasure but also to find the exit, and upon finding the exit you'll refill your life. I barely found that exit with 1 second remaining, and as you can see, my life or power is refills right there. And it's crucial, those coin marks that you see right there, it's crucial to find those rooms, those treasure rooms, so that you can refill your life. Otherwise there's really no way to beat this game in the last few levels. The treasure rooms also provide you a passcode usually, but in this case the passcodes are virtually pointless because they still spit you out at the very beginning of World 5. You have to play through all these levels again. This is kind of a tricky level not to get hit by all these wizards. Here, part of my strategy at this point is to shoot through a line and then just quickly run through that area, taking a bit of damage, but if you try to sit and fight all those guys, you'll actually lose a lot more life doing it that way. I'm playing this game on an NES Advantage joystick, and it gets really tricky to make some of those tight 90-degree turns. That's why I took that area a little bit more slowly. And one thing you'll see here is me leading the target. So sometimes I'll fire a shot, and then I will walk forward and let the screen scroll with me. You'll see that in a minute. Now, I've played through this part a little bit better before, but I mean, this isn't my best playthrough, but it does the job. So right here, I kind of led it with a shot before I hit that tile that makes you freeze for a few seconds. See, leading there too, leading, oh, missed that guy, leading, and bam. So that's like one different tactic or skill you can use to kind of get through these levels, because it gets tricky when there's so many monsters, when rooms are so dominated by these monsters, to make it through safely. Here you'll see, like, shooting diagonally through walls. That's another trick that's pretty crucial to gameplay. If you play as the warrior, I'm playing as the wizard here, but if you play as the warrior, his axes actually cannot go through the diagonals. So the warrior is really the worst character to choose, and if you're trying to beat this in a one-player game, it's probably impossible. His movement's so slow, he can't shoot through corners like that. You'll pretty much die in these treasure rooms because you can't find the exit fast enough. here my wizard is also boosted up with a speed potion that I found earlier on in the game. If it shows the pause screen, it'll show that speed potion there, as well as power boost for my shots and defensive boost. And I think I collected all of the special potions in this playthrough to help boost up my stats. And that's, like, if I didn't have those, I don't know if I could have beaten it. It's a really difficult game. See, that's another leading. I shot my spell and then walked into the screen far enough that it hit the skull generator right in time. Now, right there I picked up a black item that gives me... It drains my power faster, but it gives me stronger armor. So what that means is I can virtually walk through a room full of people without taking any damage from their shots. And that's really important in the next room. See, here's a treasure room again, and I really needed that health boost to make it through these levels. See, right here, I've got that item on so that enemies don't drain my health. And so I just kind of walk straight through there. And in here is where it really comes in handy. In this level, the exit appears in 4 different corners, and it's random which one it'll appear in. Luckily, I chose the right corner that time. If not, that perfect armor boost would have helped me to kind of wade through hordes of enemies without taking damage. And that would have made it so even if I didn't find the exit in this treasure room, I'd still have enough health that I would feel fairly confident about the levels to come. Luckily, though, I did find the exit. Oh, see up there, there's icons that showed the different boosts that my character has. And here, you know, I think I still had that perfect armor working for me. It is limited to a fixed amount of time, but I did have it, so I was able to kind of trudge through those ghosts without taking too much damage. As you'll notice in Gauntlet, the life bar gradually depletes every second, so every second counts. And that, combined with the generators that frequently respawn enemies, really makes this game a game about pushing forward and gives it a sense of urgency that you need to get through these levels without taking damage from enemies, but doing it quickly. So that's part of the challenge in Gauntlet, and I think a challenge that works really well. Even to this day, I think it's an enjoyable game to play, and it really is challenging. If this game were made today, there'd probably be like life potions that you could collect a ton of and just fill up your life whenever. But here, it really tests your skill. Again, like, I don't even kill all the enemies in this level, but I kill enough that I can get through the level without having any issues. And here there's 2 exits, and it changes every time. One might be a dummy exit, and I think in this playthrough, that is actually that is the dummy exit. Sometimes that's a real exit, so it just kind of switches up each time, which kind of makes it challenging. So here I'll unlock the floor panel that will lead me to where to find the real exit. Now in that locked chest there was a poison, and I knew that because I played through this level a million times, so... And that's kind of what it takes. It takes playing through the levels enough to kind of know when to flee and when to fight, and to make good judgment calls along the way, and also to position your character in the correct spot that you can take out as many enemies as possible and also escape from harm. I didn't bother with those treasure chests down there because at this point of the game it really doesn't matter. Now, I judiciously used one of my bombs there to clear out some generators that I knew would give me fits later on. I still have 9 bomb potions left. Well, now 8. Because I was looking at my life there and I realized, you know what? Instead of fight through all this mess, I'll probably save more life just using a potion. Now, when I say potions and bombs, they're synonymous. You collect potions that give you a bomb. So I used another one there to take out the 2 deaths and some of the generators. Another one there to take out all those generators. And now here I'm going to lead the target. See that? I led the target right into the generator. Again, bam. See? So, different skills like that are really required to get through these really difficult levels. I'm gonna know exactly to come up and shoot diagonally, take out that generator before too many ghosts spawn. Now, believe it or not, this game for the Nintendo is actually less challenging than it would be to play the arcade game in a single player mode. The arcade game was kind of built with multiplayer in mind. It was the first arcade game to feature 4-player simultaneous play. But as such, there are a lot of enemies, and the generators in the arcade version just spit out enemy after enemy after enemy after enemy, where these ones in these generators in Gauntlet for the Nintendo spit out enemies, but not quite as frequently as the arcade. Thankfully, that's the case. Otherwise, this game probably wouldn't be beatable. There's some grunts. Room full of grunts. Okay, so here I'm in room 99. Or I just beat room 99. So at this point you have to enter a series of letters that make up a vault code, an 8-digit vault code. And you find all these letters in clue rooms scattered throughout the game, throughout the game's 100 levels. And I think there's no, I can't remember how many clue rooms per level, per world. The game's divided into 5 worlds, and they each have a few clue rooms. And you have to navigate, choose the right path in order to find each clue room to get the clue, and then later on you assemble all the clues to get that code. Otherwise, you'd start this level and immediately die. Now here you saw me use 2 bombs at the beginning in good places so that later on it's not too hard. At this point I only have 4 bombs left. You really need to have bombs when you enter this level or you will die. Unless you're an insanely good player. Here I snag the L and leave before they can get me. Again, knowing when to use the bombs is key to beating the game. Lead them into the narrow hallway to take them out. Take out that generator from a distance. Here's the dragon room. Here's the last boss in the game. Again, I used my bomb there so that I can conserve health. And I'm doing really well at this point. I've got 500 life. Or power, whatever you want to call it. And you need a lot of power. I think you could maybe do this with 200 or 300 life if you wanted to. But in this case, I had 500 life, which I think is more than enough to beat this. Here I'm doing kind of a guerrilla approach, hiding behind a wall, trying to get 3, sometimes 4 shots in before he can change his head direction. Whenever you hit one of the dragon heads, it will wake up and start shooting fire at you. So it's important to only hit the middle head at this point, because otherwise, if you hit the other heads, you're getting like shot on it from multiple directions. And the first time I came into this level, That's what happened. All 3 heads were shooting at me, and then I quickly died. So just taking the patient approach for this middle head is a really important tactic. And in order to do that, again, you need enough health to make it happen. See there, I snuck off an extra shot. I talked about the warrior and the Valkyrie a little bit. Or sorry, the warrior and the wizard a little bit. Wizard is the best with bombs. That's one of the reasons I chose the wizard. His bombs can take out more enemies on a screen than other characters. And then of course I boosted him up with other stat items throughout the game. The elf is also another good character to use. He has really fast movement speed and fast shots, I think. But he's a good character to use. His shots aren't as strong as the wizard's, and that's one of the reasons I chose the wizard, but you can boost him up later on with better shot power, and that helps. At this stage, it's really easy to take out these heads, because you don't have to duck around that corner anymore. I ducked around the corner at the beginning just because if I tried to weave back and forth in the room, I would risk the chance of shooting one of the other heads. So there I took out the dragon. Now there's another wizard up there that I shot. Led the target. Gonna use my bomb here to take out that room, which I'll come back to later. And unlock that. That tile I hit actually opened up the wall back here. I have almost 300 life at this point, so I'm doing really well. Hit that tile. And there's the orb that I have to collect, so I took out that room with a bomb before I even got there. That just saves me headaches in the future. Now, all these decisions that I'm making here, I learned through trial and error. At one point I got this far, but that room killed me, the room with the orb. So I collected that orb. You can see it there in the far right of the icons. And you have to have that orb and escape to beat the game. So there it is. That's the ending of the game. Really simple ending victory screen. It gives you your passcode and your vault code. The vault code is the 8-digit one above. The only way to beat this game is to get all the clues in all the clue rooms, assemble the vault code so you can actually enter the vault without dying, and then to kill the dragon and get the orb before you exit. If you exit before you get the orb, game over. You don't win. So, challenging game. There's Gauntlet. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I'll be posting the official review on my website coming shortly, and also include a link later on once that site's up and running. Thank you for joining me. Again, Logan McRae with NES Flash Forward. Take care. Bye.